Look at that, first time, easy. So today's day 11. Second day back at it again, from the last like vlog or mini series, I guess. I was talking about how I missed those 3 past days. And so, obviously you got to get back on it. You got to keep working, keep doing. I'm actually just drenched in sweat right now from working out again. I'm actually really parched too. I haven't drinking much. I mean, I drank actually a lot of water today, but I've been out in the field and helping out the guys and all that. So it's a little bit more difficult to stay as hydrated. Today's eating was pretty good, except I had a tater tot hot dish for my dinner, but that's all right. It's burned off. I did my workout, plus I worked out in the field all day, and I still was 130 calories under my my I guess goal calories per day or intake, which is about 2,100 a day to lose weight. So still doing pretty good. Business is going pretty good. I'm getting this is the final, I'm so close to getting over the edge of just getting everything ready so that when the time hits here by next week or maybe the following week, everything's on track, everything's going, and we're doing really well. I mean, we're doing good right now, but we're having to do a lot of catch-up work, especially when it comes down to, things such as locating and such. So, it's really about it. I mean, as always, it's going to be really rinse and repeat. That's something I've realized too, is like the only way that I'm ever going to get to where I want to be, honestly, it's really not glamorous. None of it's glamorous. None of it's cool. It's not something new and interesting every day. There's no way to actually become excellent at anything when you do that. When you're like, oh, new thing, because a master of all is a master of none, And so that's a pretty popular saying. Everything off the dome is mainly a popular saying. I might have an original thing off the dome every once in a while, but anyways, go back on topic. Essentially, it's just the same shit every day. It's really what it is. But it's like little by little, every day is the step. And that's why when you talk about it or people ask up on you and stuff, it's like, it's always going to be the same old shit when you're trying to accomplish something. And so, but eventually it's like, well, then you become a master at something, or you finally get to that point. And then it seems to be a little bit more interesting and cool for others. Maybe not for yourself, but for others. And so that's where, everybody has, what's the word I'm looking for right now? Why am I blanking it? Why am I blanking the word? Y'all are supposed to know this. Motivation. Jeez, that was really tough for some reason. I'm gonna make sure not to forget that next time. Motivation. So everybody has motivation. Everybody starts with motivation. Everybody has motivation. Not many have discipline. And that's something I've realized too. It's always this rinse and repeat action. And so I think that's something I want you guys to take away with this journey that I'm on right now is that you'll see when I'm disciplined and when I'm doing it every single day, no matter how I feel, when I feel shitty or when I feel great, I'm still doing the same thing, giving it the same amount of effort. That's something that will clearly show to you guys, and I want you guys to take away as well. And that's my goal, is to show you guys the way on what I'm doing, and so it inspires you guys to do so, And yeah, that's the main things that I have to talk about here today. Really nothing too crazy. Got done with, I hit just the perfect goal mark for what I wanted to get done for today. The one thing I messed up was, in relative terms to what I do, is I ordered a 500-foot Opti. It's like this fiber cable. And it was supposed to be 750 feet, and that totally messed the day up, and I definitely could have got that done today if I didn't mess that up. And so that's something, again, paying attention to the maps, the build maps and stuff like that. It's something I'm gonna really start working on too, and I have been actually. I've been doing really well with doing so. And so, yeah, that's mainly it so far. I've said that about 4 damn times, but hey, that's all I can say. That's all I'm gonna say for a minute. And during the winter time, I'm gonna really try to, and I've said it, I think on day 6, I believe, I'm gonna venture into some type of a hobby that enforces some type of discipline and competition. It's really important. Becoming more of a competitive individual is really important. If you everything is competition, my business is competition. You know, the people around me and who they pay their attention to and who they care about most is competition, right? How I act towards them and how I present myself and act towards me is a reflection on them. You know, because I'm their friend, and your friends are or you know, acquaintances, family, partner. You know, that's something that's important, is being strong, disciplined, courageous. Courage is really big. Having the discipline to continue doing and going, and being a good. That's how you become a real good friend. Loyalty too, obviously, most of all. But that's how you really can be there for somebody. And so I'm going to continue doing so with everybody I know. And that's another thing too, is you got to work on yourself to help others, to uplift others, you know. And I was just talking about, though, going in during the wintertime, picking up some type of a hobby that is competition and all that. And I kind of went down a little rabbit hole, but I think it's important to talk about. It's on topic. And I think, as I said earlier, I'm going to definitely do MMA. I'm going to venture back into MMA again. I think that's just the best. That's by far probably the best hobby you can have, that encourages that discipline, the courage, alongside with competition, right? Making sure you're competitive and working as hard as possible. And I'm excited for that. That'll be the one change up that I have probably this year. But everything else, for the most part, is just constantly working on the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, and trying to excel and get better at it, obviously. But that just comes with doing it every day. And yeah, that's my little Tanner talk, as I'll call it. Another thing too I want to talk about, I guess, last thing is be less apologetic is something that I need to work on as well, is being less apologetic in general. Like, for when you're trying to improve yourself, or hey, I need to take time for me, or hey, I need to make sure I can't eat that with everybody, stuff like that, or stuff. You need to be unapologetic, because that's your goals, your life, your ambitions. That's you being a disciplined individual, which in turn, if somebody who's around you actually cares about you, wants you to be a disciplined individual, because it uplifts you, which as a friend you should care about, but also uplifts them as well. And that's where creating that good circle comes in. And I'm actually quite happy to say I have a good circle of people in my life right now. Everybody that I can think of that is close to me and knows what's going on in my day-to-day, every single one of them I can count on for. They're all pretty disciplined individuals, and they all care about me. And so I need to make sure that I'm doing it for them. Another thing too is, and funny enough, as I keep talking, things keep rolling in my brain. It's kind of how my brain works. I come up with a lot of relations or relatable things to another thing, and I like to talk about it, especially when it's centered around a specific goal, is God's watching. That's important. God is always watching you. Always watching you. And so you want to do your best every day to make him proud. God blesses those who try hard at life, who get things done at life, who work for him and for the glory of God, but beyond that, for all those around them and yourself too. I have never once seen where somebody has worked every single day, for instance, working out, or a bit online business, in-person business, brick and mortar business, service business, any type of business, where every single day they work hard at it, like working out. They work out every single day, eat right, do everything right. They make sure that they're training harder and harder every single day, taking accountability for everything they do every single day. I've not once seen where God has not blessed them with a healthy and fit body. I've never once seen it where it has not been that way. If somebody every single day truthfully doesn't give 30% effort, 40% effort, gets 100% effort every single day, no matter how they feel, sad, happy, frustrated, indifferent. That's my little last talk, I guess, and that's something that keeps me motivated too. And I really want to become excellent in so many different things, and that's the mindset I need to carry on with myself. So thank you guys very much again. That's my Tanner talk. That's exactly what I got done for the day. And yeah, I'm excited to keep going and keep doing. You know, technically today's day 11. I counted as day 2 because we had that setback, but we'll count it as day 11, obviously, to keep the title going and keep the series going. So thank you guys very much. If you guys, anybody watching, which I actually saw in my last video, I got like 15 views, which I think probably 3 or 4 of them were from me, because I like to self-analyze and kind of realize what I'm saying in my vlogs and what I could do better. But to any of those, you know, 5 to 10 people who also watch, I mean, I would really encourage you to comment on here and talk a little bit. I want to hear from the people. I want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you guys doing every single day? I want to know. It intrigues me, it interests me. This is something that's a passion in my life. So thank you guys very much again. I think for the next vlog / self journal, I'm going to have it in a different environment than just this room. I think it's time to switch it up a little bit. So, you know, it's something a little different. But yeah, thank you.